Hey there, Leah here. Thanks so much for joining me for today's training to learn how to get your ideal clients coming to you on LinkedIn, where you're going to learn a proven system to become known as an expert in your field and get clients starting to come to you for your expertise. So, this is one of my favorite things to teach because, as you're going to see, what we're covering here is near and dear to my heart. But first, so as we get started, I just want to give a shout out to you for spending time with me today and working on this part of your business. Because if you run a consulting or coaching or any service based business where the clients for your business are other businesses, other companies, and if you know that your clients are on LinkedIn, but you're not sure how to use LinkedIn to actually get them, and if your clients love you, but you just need more people to know about you, and if you've been doing sort of all the things for marketing and it's not working, or you're just tired of it, you're burning out from it, and let's be honest, if you are sort of hard on yourself for not knowing how to do LinkedIn already and you're ready to learn, then you are in the right place. And I am so glad you're here. So grab some paper and a pen or pencil because we're going to walk through this step by step. And I want to make sure you get everything. And honestly, even if you love taking notes in like a Google Doc or Evernote or whatever, I really encourage you to write things down today because we're going to be doing some shapes, a pyramid, it's a whole thing. And just another benefit to writing it down, at the end of this training, take a picture of your notes and post them on LinkedIn and tag me so I can give you a shout out. So grab your paper and a pen or pencil. So before I do anything, I like to make sure that we agree on goals. And my goal today is to give you a step-by-step plan to help you stand out and become known as an expert and have your ideal clients coming to you for your expertise using LinkedIn. So specifically, you're going to learn why LinkedIn is the best place to be if you're a B2B consultant, coach, or service-based business. We're going to talk about the first critical mindset shift that's necessary if you're going to start to do this work. You're going to learn the 5 steps to stand out as an expert consultant on LinkedIn. I'm going to share some LinkedIn strategies you can start to use today, and I'll share how you can get started. And because you're here today, because you're investing this time in yourself and your business, I'm going to give you something special. I'm going to give you my 25 best performing LinkedIn posts. These are the posts that have gotten thousands of views, and you can use them for content ideas. You can follow the structure, however you'd like to use them. You can swipe them, tweak them, make them your own. They are yours just for hanging out with me today. So before we get into it, if you and I are meeting for the first time, hi, I'm Leah. So let's talk about why I'm here teaching you how to do this. So I'm Leah Neaderthal, and I'm a sales coach for women who run B2B consulting and coaching businesses, which means that I help women land more of the B2B consulting and coaching clients they want, get more yeses, and get paid dramatically more for every contract. Before doing this work, I started, grew, and sold 3 companies. The first was a marketing and website design consultancy. The second was a consultancy where we helped nonprofits and social enterprises implement what's called lean startup methodology. And the third was an organization called Lesbians Who Tech, which is designed to help LGBTQ women and allies get into technology and grow their careers. Before all this, I started my career in Chicago at advertising agencies DDB and Leo Burnett, and then I went in-house to work in corporate marketing at a mid-sized tech company. Other fun facts, I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee, but I sort of lost my accent somewhere along the way, and now I live in Brooklyn, New York with my wife, son, and our dog. And on this list, you might notice that there's one thing I've never done. I've never been a salesperson. So, how does someone who's never done sales become a sales coach for women entrepreneurs? Well, to answer that question, we have to go back to 2011. I left my job in corporate marketing at the tech company I mentioned, and my girlfriend and I packed up and left for what was going to be a trip around the world. And as we were traveling, we were, backpacking, going really fast from town to town. And it was such a whirlwind. And we realized that we actually weren't experiencing any of the places that we were seeing. So we decided to slow down. And instead of trying to see the world in a year and then go back to an office job and spend the rest of our lives under fluorescent lights, we thought, why don't we create a business and a life that would allow us to live anywhere? And that's how my first consulting business was born, the marketing and website design firm. So we cut our trip short after 8 months of travel so we could come back to the States and focus on getting new clients, which would, of course, allow us to keep traveling. But getting clients was so much harder than I thought it would be. I think I'd kind of assumed that my background was marketing and I was starting a marketing business. How hard could that be? But actually getting the clients proved to be so much harder. I mean, when I first started my business and I told everyone that I was starting my business, yeah, I got some people coming to me and I got some referrals. But after that started to slow down, that's when I was left standing there and wondering, what do I do now? And I really didn't know. And I realized pretty quickly that even though I knew marketing, I realized that marketing is not selling. And that just because I'd done well marketing the companies where I worked before, I learned what you've probably learned too, which is that it's about 1,000 times harder to promote your own stuff than it is to promote someone else's. And I just couldn't do it. It was so difficult and I felt so paralyzed that I even went back and got a job working for someone else. But I realized pretty quickly that that was a huge mistake because I knew I wanted to work for myself. But I knew if I was going to do that, I needed to learn how to sell. But not like I had seen some, pushy sales guys try to sell to me. So I decided to teach myself. I had to find something that worked, but also felt right for me. I'm a total introvert. I'm not going to go like shake 1,000 hands. And so it needed to feel like me. So I decided to teach myself. I read every single book I could get my hands on, which turned into 65 books. I tried every single strategy with my own clients, and anything that felt salesy, I ditched. But anything that felt comfortable, I kept. And I spent about 4 years learning and testing everything in my own business. And I didn't know it at the time, but I was actually creating a selling methodology that really works and it feels good and it's comfortable. And now, using that selling methodology, I have a 92% win rate and I've sold over $3 million in work. And now I teach women how to use that same methodology in their business. And to do this successfully, you really need two things. You need the know-how to sell projects or contracts or retainers or however you sell in your work, and you need people to sell to. So I had actually mastered that first one with the methodology that I had developed. So I knew how to sell. And when people came my way, when companies came my way, I knew I could sign them and sign them at the rate that I wanted, which was actually a lot higher than other people in my industry. So yay. But you also need people to sell to. And when it came to that one, well, I really wasn't killing it at that one. In fact, it was the opposite. Because, like I said, all of my business was coming from referrals. And listen, I love referrals. Referrals are the best kind of potential client. I'm never going to tell you not to get referrals, but I wasn't actually doing anything to get referrals. And if I'm going to be honest, I was actually doing what a lot of women end up doing, which is nothing really, just sort of waiting for referrals or hoping that people would find me. And so when those referrals slowed down, I really felt it in my business. And I was also doing a little bit of a lot of things. I was doing a little blogging here, a little social media there, a lot of like clicking around on the internet. But when I thought about doing any actual prospecting, it felt a little bit like this. And I was kind of just trusting the universe. But sadly, trusting the universe is not a business development strategy. And so I was only getting a trickle of potential clients coming my way each month, a few here and there. My pipeline was looking pretty thin. And if I'm going to be honest, they weren't even the right people. But I felt like I had to take them because I really didn't have a whole lot else going on. But I didn't just feel it in my bank account. I felt it in the feelings. I really started to doubt myself. I knew I was good at doing the work, so I didn't doubt my expertise, but I didn't feel like I knew what I was doing when it came to running my business. And I kind of had this nagging question of whether I was even cut out to run a business because I felt like the world's best kept secret. I mean, I knew that I was really good at what I did, but no one knew about me. And the sheer fact that I was good at what I did certainly wasn't bringing me any clients, which sucked because I knew that I could help so many clients and do such great work for them if they only knew about me. So I decided to start looking at something I'd been ignoring this whole time. I started looking at LinkedIn and I decided to try to learn how to use LinkedIn for my business. But I didn't want to do it like I had seen some other people doing it, sending spammy pitch messages and stuff like that. So I spent several months learning everything I could about how to build authority and be seen as an expert. And I paired that with everything I had learned about how to sell B2B in a way that feels comfortable, gets more yeses, and lands higher paying clients. And the result is the system that you're going to learn in this training. Because when I talk to women who are running consulting or service-based businesses, there are two things I hear the most. I need to get in front of the people who can actually hire me, and I need to get in front of the clients who can actually afford me. And I have to tell you, both of those clients are on LinkedIn. And it makes LinkedIn the best place to be for your consulting business that's really right under your nose. Because first, it's where the decision makers are, people who can actually say yes. So there are 260 million active users coming on every month, and 61 million of those are senior level influencers. 41 million are in decision making positions. And 84% of senior decision makers use LinkedIn when searching for solutions. I work with a lot of women who do some type of marketing or communications, and 91% of marketing execs say that LinkedIn is where they're looking for educational content. Because, I mean, let's be honest, decision makers are not on Facebook for work or Instagram for work. They're on LinkedIn. And it's where you can find the clients who can actually afford you. I mean, it's kind of a given that if you work at a company, you're on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where you're going to find the employees of every small business, mid-sized company, and Fortune 1000 and multinational company. But even if you offer coaching as part of your work too, this is where to find the people who can actually afford you. 61% of all internet users with an annual household income of more than $100,000 are on LinkedIn. But to start using LinkedIn now, what worked when you were an employee won't work now when you're running your business. It's not an online resume where you sort of set it and forget it and just update your job title when you start your business. There are specific strategic things you need to be doing on LinkedIn when you're running your own business and you want to start attracting your ideal clients. And it starts with a critical mindset shift. The first critical mindset shift is that you have to be seen as an expert, an authority in what you do. And it's like, well, yeah, of course I want to be seen as an expert. Who doesn't, right? I didn't spend 5 or 10 or 20 years of my corporate career to not be seen as an expert. But this isn't just about having people know that you're good at what you do or having your clients know that you're awesome and they love you. Because in order to be seen as an expert, you have to be seen. Other people who haven't worked with you, who've never met you before, need to know how amazing you are. And that's what we're going to talk about here. With the system that we're going to walk through in a bit, this is the type of scene we're talking about. The system I'm going to share with you, I actually use it in my business every day. These are screenshots of some of the visibility that I've gotten recently. And it's not just wholesale visibility. We're talking about being sought after, right? People coming to you. So it's also about people looking for you. Using the system I'm going to share with you, I'm coming up more in search. So when people search for business coach, LinkedIn is surfacing my profile out of all the potential options on the entire LinkedIn platform. You can see 369 people found me just from the homepage. So when they open up their LinkedIn, I'm right there. So let's talk about all of this in the context of what's going on right now and how business is sort of changing. Because now is the time to be seen. It's a tremendous opportunity. Let's look at why. On the piece of paper that you're writing your notes on, I want you to write down 3 and 18. So what does 3 and 18 mean? Well, they're not just my birthday, which that actually is my birthday, but 3 and 18 means a B2B sales cycle can take anywhere from 3 to 18 months. And that's in sort of normal times, the before times. But right now we're seeing 3 big changes. First, sales cycles are taking longer. It's taking longer for clients to say yes. Second, clients want to feel safer hiring a provider that they're most familiar with. And most familiar does not mean biggest. It means the one that they feel most comfortable going with because they know and are sure that they can solve their problems. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that in a second. And third, 84% of B2B decision makers look on social media for information about solutions. And the number one social network they use is LinkedIn. That's probably why LinkedIn is seeing a 55% increase in engagement. But very few people are actually posting content. In fact, only 1% of LinkedIn users ever post content. Isn't that wild? So now is the time to be seen before you need to drum up business, but not to use LinkedIn to sell, but to educate and provide value. Because let's just take a look at how people buy, how clients buy. And this is going to be a really simplified version of this process, but just go with me here. So most people think the sales process goes like this. There's some sort of outreach, some first contact, and you have some conversations, you maybe send a proposal, you have some meetings, and then there's a signed contract, right? And in that process, that's where most consultants think that the client learns about you and decides you're the best choice. But that's not actually how it goes. It looks more like this. The client is doing their own research and looking for solutions and sort of educating themselves well before that first contact, that first interaction. And this is where the client actually learns about you and decides that you're the best choice. We call this the client education process. because clients go through their own education process before hiring any provider. And in fact, anywhere from 2/3 to 90% of that education happens before they ever reach out. And we already saw that 84% of B2B decision makers are looking on social media for information about solutions. And the number one social network they're using is LinkedIn. That's what they're doing. They're in this process, that client education process. So like I said, anywhere from 2/3 to 90% of that education process before they ever reach out. But the benefit of that is that when they get to this actual, what people consider the sales process, clients end up saying yes faster. You get proposals and contracts signed faster. Oftentimes you are not in a competitive situation and you can charge more. You can really charge a premium. So this education process is already a part of every sales process, even though it's totally hidden to you because it's, on the other side of their screen. But that's why it's important that you are part of that education process with your clients. And when you allow clients to learn about you, you are actually participating in that sales process with your clients before they reach out to you. But the thing is, if clients don't learn anything from you, if you're not being visible, then they can't learn anything about you. And that's why I don't even consider LinkedIn social media. LinkedIn is business development. It's how you stand out and how clients start coming to you. But what do we really mean by clients coming to you? Well, it means clients actually reaching out. This is a woman who who reached out to me on LinkedIn, and she said, I've been following your content and wanted to connect. Looking forward to learning how to hone in on the consulting audience I truly want. She already knew what I did. She knew that I was somebody who could solve her problems. And after following my content, so essentially doing her own education, she reached out. Amanda said she signed one new coaching client who found her on LinkedIn last week and just got off the phone with another. And Danielle said her pipeline is packed with serious prospects, all of which have reached out to her. And the thing is, when clients come to you, they're already pre-sold on you. You are the obvious choice for them because remember, they've already gone through this education process. Being pre-sold, being that obvious choice looks like this. So Amy said, well, this is kind of a long one. She said, somebody reached out and he said he could tell that I was an expert in this field. And now that he has a need, he knew exactly who to connect with. And Juliana said that she had a big week. She said, not only did I close a dream client who said, I love your LinkedIn posts. You're such an expert in your area. It's so clear to me. But she got a speaking gig. She said, I just checked out your LinkedIn profile and we'd be so excited to have you speak at our event. Will you please say yes? I mean, think about how many times have you wanted to pitch yourself to a conference or anything? And this is people coming to you because they already know that you are the obvious choice. And it also means referrals coming to you. And remember, I said that referrals are the best type of client, right? Well, this person reached out to me with a referral. This is somebody I knew in a previous professional life. I think we only met a handful of times. And at this point, I probably hadn't talked to her in about 6 years. And here she was sending me a referral just because she had been seeing what I was sharing on LinkedIn. And Sherry said she got a direct message and a connection request from someone who wasn't a direct client, but who could refer her. She said, this has never happened. And clients are great. Filling your pipeline is great, of course, but there are so many other benefits to being seen on LinkedIn. It also means that opportunities come to you, like press opportunities. Once I started to be seen on LinkedIn, I got invited to do podcasts and speaking engagements. So a woman reached out and she's interviewing me for her podcast, and Jeff, the same thing. Emily experienced the same thing. She was invited to 3 webinars and 3 podcast interviews in the last month and 2 guest blogging requests. Therese as well. She said she was approached about being a guest on another podcast. This is what happens when you're seen as an expert. When people start coming to you, it also means they're joining your newsletter list. So Beth said she's been posting for the last 2 weeks and she's added 25 new subscribers to her list. She knows these folks are interested in email marketing, which makes them great prospects for her. And I love this last part. I'm impressed with the uptick, especially since my LinkedIn audience isn't that big right now because I've been ignoring the platform for years, which is what a lot of us do. We joined LinkedIn years ago. We sort of never did anything with it. And now you're starting to really think about it for your business. Kelly as well. She said, since I've been using LinkedIn, I've added 2,500 people to my list. That's the type of thing that's possible when you start to be seen as an expert on LinkedIn. And now LinkedIn is the number one source of clients for me and for women who are B2B consultants, coaches, and service providers just like you. But I couldn't get there by doing what I had been doing on LinkedIn when I was an employee. So I had to throw all of that out the window and you learn how to use it in a totally new way to build authority as an expert, to be seen by my ideal clients, and to help those viewers take action to work with me. And that's what I'm going to share with you today in the Pack Your Pipeline system. All right. So we're going to dive into exactly how to do that. So grab a piece of paper, pen, or pencil, and you're going to want to follow along and write down the strategies that I'm sharing here. All right. So the first thing you're going to want to do here is draw a pyramid with 5 sections. All right. Take a few seconds to do that. You can pause if you need to. Okay. So let's start at the bottom. So the first thing you're going to want to do is write in this first section, understand the new LinkedIn. This is the first critical piece of this system. And when we talk about understanding LinkedIn, we're talking about understanding what LinkedIn wants. Because LinkedIn is actually really different than Facebook or Instagram or other platforms. So things like posting links to your own blog posts and other stuff just won't work. So if you do what a lot of people do, which is you post a blog or, post an article on your own website, and then you come to LinkedIn and you post it and you feel like you've sort of quote unquote done LinkedIn, that's not going to work. So when you don't yet understand the new LinkedIn and how it works, you can do a lot of things on LinkedIn, but you'll basically be impeded. You'll sort of be stopped in your tracks, and you won't get the visibility and the reach that you really need. But when you do understand the new LinkedIn and know what it's looking for, you can start to work with the system for greater visibility and reach. And by the way, you can do that without spending any money on ads or anything else. All right. So that's why understanding the new LinkedIn is the first critical part of our system. The second critical step is graduate your profile. So a lot of people, when they start using LinkedIn for their business, they add their new company. They give themselves a title like founder or CEO or something. They add their headline, or they change their headline to say something like, I don't know, brand strategist or whatever. And then they think, well, I'm done. I've updated my profile, right? That's like old style LinkedIn when you were an employee. But what we want to do, we don't just want to update our profile. Our profile needs to graduate. It needs to sort of become something else. So how are you communicating not just what you do, but the value you provide? How are you positioning yourself as an expert? And not just that, but how are you helping viewers take the next step and reach out to you, right? So if you're not doing this, if your profile is not graduated, then people might see your profile, but they're essentially indifferent. They're like, okay, that's a person. This is what she does, whatever. But when you can graduate your profile, when your profile is really dialed in, then it positions you as an expert. And so in a little bit, I'm going to tell you a few strategies you can use within this system. All right. So the next critical step of our system is next level your network. And when we talk about next leveling your network, what we're talking about is making sure that the right people see you, because you want every single person who sees you to be somebody who can either hire you or refer you, so you can stop worrying about people coming to you who really aren't the right clients that you want. When your network isn't dialed in, you can do a bunch of things on LinkedIn, but it's going to be seen by people who are essentially irrelevant to you and your business. But when you can dial it in, when your network is working for you, then you can start to get seen by the right people, your ideal clients and referrers. And the right people start going through that education process with you. So the fourth step in the system is create content that converts. And this is where you can continue to really establish your expertise, help people understand the tremendous value you provide, and help them take the next step. And when you can do this, it helps establish your expertise very quickly. Because what we're doing is we're not posting content that sells. We're posting content that educates, provides value, establishes your expertise, shares your point of view, and really speaks to the goals that your ideal clients are looking to achieve, and gets them associating all of that expertise with you. So when your content isn't dialed in, you can post a bunch of stuff on LinkedIn, but it'll essentially be ignored. But when you can do this, when your content is really dialed in, then you can start to attract, engage, and help your clients take the next step to work with you. And of course, that's what we want. So let's talk about the last critical part of this system, which is drive massive traffic. So I already said that I felt this way, and I still hear it from women today, how you feel like you're the world's best kept secret. That's because you can have a great profile, you can have great content, but if nobody sees it, then you're essentially invisible. You're still the world's best kept secret. So what we're doing is driving massive traffic to get you in front of thousands of people. Because when you can do that, you can start to be seen as an expert and start to attract your ideal clients. You can stop being the world's best kept secret and start having people come to you. So this is how you get discovered by the right people, your ideal clients. So these are the 5 critical steps of our system. And in a little bit, we're going to go through some strategies you can use. But there's something that you see on LinkedIn a lot that's actually not part of this system. It's messages, those connect and pitch messages. You know how you get a connection request and then you accept it, and then 5 minutes later, you're getting like a sales message. If you've gotten this before, you know how annoying they are. I hate them. And so I'm never going to tell you to do something that I hate doing myself, and PS does not even work. So that's why this system doesn't use messages. So the good news is, if you've been thinking or worrying that the only way to get leads using LinkedIn is to be one of those spammy connect and pitch guys, then I have some great news for you. You can get leads on LinkedIn without sending a single message like that, and actually without sending a single message at all. So let's go through the system, and I want to teach you a few things you can start to do today. So let's talk about graduating your profile. So in the old way, your profile is an online resume. It just lists all of your expertise, right? So then when most people start a business, they take their LinkedIn profile that they've had forever. They add their newest job to the experience section with the title founder or CEO or something. They change their headline to say, brand strategist or some sort of functional title that describes your work. And they think they've updated their profile for their new business. But when you do that, you're missing a huge opportunity, because to truly make your profile work hard for you and get leads for your business, you don't have to just add a couple of things. You have to think entirely differently about your profile. Instead of thinking of it as a profile, I want you to think of it as a landing page. So you're going to want to think about everything that you think about when you do a landing page for your business: who it's for, what you want them to know, and what action you want them to take. And when your ideal clients come to a landing page on your site, you want them paying attention to you and no one else. But the truth is that there are a lot of people on LinkedIn who are like you, sort of in your space. So what we want to do with our new perspective that our profile is now a landing page is we want to stop sending people to your competitors, because trust me, it's happening. Let's take a look. So let's look at this person. He's a leadership consultant in education, has over 10,000 followers. So I think he's doing pretty well, right? But let's take a look at the section on the side called People Also Viewed. Right there. Actually, let's zoom in on that. Here it is, People Also Viewed. And when you look at who's showing right next to him, it's competitor, 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 competitor. I think you see where I'm going with this. Competitor. Say it with me now. Competitor, competitor. So right after this training, you're going to want to go to LinkedIn and turn off People Also Viewed on your own page, so that you can stop accidentally showing your competitors when your ideal clients land on your page. All right. So let's talk about creating content that converts. So the old way of doing content on LinkedIn is that you write a blog post or an article on your own site, and then you come to LinkedIn and you post a link and you think, all right, I've done LinkedIn. This does not work. And unfortunately, it's actually the number one mistake that I see business owners making. But it doesn't work because LinkedIn doesn't want you coming onto LinkedIn, posting a link to somewhere else, and then taking their viewers off of LinkedIn to someone else's site. And when you do that, you might get, 100, 200 views. And you can see here that when I shared one of my blog posts a while back, I got 175 views. And Eileen did the same thing, and she got 114 views, which it's not nothing, but it's not good enough to be seen as an expert by your ideal clients, especially to get out of your network and start to be seen by the potential clients who don't know about you yet. Instead, you're going to want to start to write original content for LinkedIn. And you don't have to create a ton of articles. The content we're talking about here are home feed posts, those little statuses optimized for LinkedIn to help do what we want them to do: attract our ideal clients, engage them, and help our ideal clients take the next step with us. And here's what that looks like. So this is how you go from getting 175 views to I posted something that got 4,000 views. And Eileen, same thing. This is one home feed post that got 1,600 views. This is where you need to focus on original content if you want to start getting leads from LinkedIn. But it's not just original content for content's sake, which is to say, it's not just posts to try to get as many views as possible. It's about writing strategic content for LinkedIn that converts. Let's take a look. So when I say converts, I mean content that brings people into your orbit and into your pipeline. Like Britta, who said, a woman I've never encountered before connected and asked to learn more after seeing her post about dark data. On first glance, she seems like her ideal client. Catherine said, I almost didn't post this morning, but I'm glad I did. I got this message. Hi, Catherine. I'm starting to look at updating our website, but your post stopped me in my tracks. I welcome a chat to tap into your insights. And Jennifer said she has 3 training opportunities, 2 of which came directly from LinkedIn. And the third was originally an introduction, but she loved my posts on LinkedIn, so she reached out. So it's the combination of original content and strategic content that brings people into your orbit. So the next tip, let's talk about driving massive traffic. Remember, because you can have a great profile and great content, but if nobody sees it, then you're still invisible. Now, the old way you tried to get views of your content in your profile is that you would just sort of hope for the best, right? You would sort of exist on LinkedIn, you would post here and there, and just sort of get whatever you get. But once you understand what LinkedIn is looking for, you can start to use that to drive massive traffic. In order to do that, we have to first look at what LinkedIn looks at when it decides what content to show. Because LinkedIn can't show everything to everyone. That would be way too overwhelming for your feed. LinkedIn wants to show engaging content. So let's take a look at how they make a decision directly from the mouth of the man who created it, Rishi Bhatt, who's the head of AI at LinkedIn. And I want you to focus on the second sentence, the blue part. He said, we monitor and then members interacting with the content and the temporal signals like velocity of likes, shares, and comments. Velocity meaning the speed at which people like and comment. So what does this mean in real life? It means that to start driving massive traffic, your content needs to get 15 likes or comments in roughly the first hour, and LinkedIn will see that people are engaging with it. It's engaging content. And LinkedIn will put your content into the larger content stream, meaning that it'll be shown to way more people. And that's how you go from getting 100 or so views to thousands of views. So you can see how this plays out. Eileen's post got 1,600 views. Beth's at nearly 2,000. Christine's at 2,600. Meg's at 4,000. And a piece of content of mine got nearly 6,000 views. This is what we're talking about when we talk about driving massive traffic. But I will caution, views is not a strategy. Getting 15 likes or comments alone is not a strategy to get you seen as an expert and bring the right clients to you. That's why even driving massive traffic has to work within the whole system to get the right people seeing your content, engaging, and then coming into your orbit and reaching out. That's why driving massive traffic is actually the last part of our system, because you first need to make sure that those views, those 6,000 or 4,000 or 2,000 views, are the right people and they're learning the right things about you. So I know I've thrown a lot at you. So let's just pause for a sec and recap what we've done so far. So far, you've learned a powerful strategy for your LinkedIn profile and how to stop sending people to your competitors, which it's happening. You've learned how to avoid the biggest mistakes that business owners make when they think they're doing LinkedIn. You've learned the type of content that gets the most traction on LinkedIn, and you've learned how to optimize your content to position you as an expert. So let's just pause for a second and go back to why you showed up to this training today. You showed up because your clients know that you're good. Clients love you, but you need more people to know, be outside of your network. You showed up because you've exhausted your network, or you're worried that you're going to exhaust your network. You showed up because what you've been doing just hasn't been working. You've tried a lot of things and it hasn't been working. And you showed up because you know that LinkedIn is where you need to be. It's where your clients are, but you're not sure how to get started. But these are just like the functional reasons why you showed up. Let's talk about why you really showed up. You really showed up because you're tired of just clicking around on LinkedIn with no actual strategy. You really showed up because you know that this is something you need to do and you're tired of not knowing how to do it. You showed up because you don't just want to wait around crossing your fingers for your next client. And you showed up because you want to get clients because of how good you are at what you do. And you showed up because you're not afraid of doing the work. You just want to make sure it's the right work. And the thing about this is that solving these problems isn't rocket science, but it does take a plan. Because when you can solve these problems, well, you can solve the immediate problem, which is getting more leads, but that has a huge trickle-down effect. You can have your clients coming to you for your expertise and all the benefits that brings. You can choose the clients you can take on and not feel like you have to take whatever comes your way just because you need the work. You can know exactly where your next client is going to come from and stop worrying about it at 2 a.m. When you have enough leads and consistent leads, you can start to have consistent revenue and stabilize your income. And on a personal level, you can stop being the world's best kept secret and actually get recognized for the incredible work you do and start having people come to you. Now, let's talk about the big question. How are you going to get there? So there are two options. Option one, you can reverse engineer the whole system on your own. So if you're someone who likes to go from free class to free class, you can take the 5 steps that you learned today and try to figure it out on your own from the outside looking in. You can try to figure out the intricacies by watching me or the women who have actually implemented it in their business and who are getting results with it. So the first option is that you can reverse engineer the whole system, which I imagine will take you about 18 to 24 months. Or you can take the second option. You could implement a structured, step-by-step, practical plan for positioning yourself as an expert, getting seen by your ideal clients, and helping people take the next step to working with you and start seeing results quickly. And that's what I've created with Pack Your Pipeline. Pack Your Pipeline is a 21-day step-by-step training course that'll show you exactly how to stop being the world's best kept secret and start consistently getting clients coming to you using LinkedIn. The system is designed with the exact steps, tools, and coaching that'll help you position yourself as an expert, get seen by your ideal clients, and help them take the next step and stop being the world's best kept secret in the next 21 days. And by the end of the program, you'll have a system that brings your ideal clients to you using LinkedIn. So let's look at how it works. We start with Module 1, Graduate Your Profile, where we're going to turn your LinkedIn profile into a powerful tool that establishes your expertise and helps clients take the next step. We're going to go step by step to turn your profile from just okay to establish you as an expert, make your clients' eyes light up, and help them take the next step to work with you. And you're going to learn how to drive traffic from your profile to your website. Even just after Module 1, you can start to see some really incredible results. So Shiley says, #win, I just got a new client after my LinkedIn profile alone spoke to him and his problems. And Abby says, #win, I got an email from a colleague introducing me to his client who needs a writer. He said, I saw your LinkedIn. How do I hire you to write my evergreen sequence? She said, I literally met the guy an hour ago by email. He hasn't been to my site or anything, and he wants her, what she's saying is her highest level package. Those are the types of results you see after just Module 1. In step 2, we're next leveling your network, where you're going to learn how to attract and build an audience of your ideal clients and people who can refer you. You're going to learn how to get in front of the right people, your ideal clients, referrers, and fans. You're going to learn how to find your exact ideal clients using LinkedIn. And P.S., you don't need Sales Navigator or a LinkedIn Professional. And you're going to learn how to connect in a way that feels totally comfortable and not spammy. When you can start to next level your network, when your network is dialed in, these are the types of results you see. Joanna said, look at this great comment from an old professional acquaintance. Somebody just posted a recommendation in a comment telling people to hire her. Tracy said, I got a call from a man I've known for maybe 12 or so years through LinkedIn. Today, he found my number and left me a voice message because he saw my profile on LinkedIn, even though he's seen it a number of times. And he realized that, what she's saying is he's ready to solve the problem. She said, this man has had 12 years to hire me. This is what's possible when the right people are seeing you from within your network on LinkedIn. In step 3, you're going to learn how to create content that converts. You're going to learn a simple content strategy that establishes your expertise and turns viewers into leads in just a few words. I'm going to teach you exactly what to say, how to say it, and when to say it. And you're going to learn the types of posts that do well on LinkedIn and the ones that don't. And you're going to learn how to increase conversions from viewers to leads. After Module 3, you can see results like Sherry. She said, somebody reached out to her and said, we don't know each other, but I watch you post on LinkedIn and every post you write is like you write it for me. So I needed to talk to you. And Melissa said, I just got an inquiry from a women's conference as a result of them seeing her posts on LinkedIn. That's what we're talking about with content that actually converts. In step 4, we're driving massive traffic, and you're going to start to get your content in your profile seen by the right people. You're going to learn how to skyrocket views of your content and your profile into the thousands. You're going to learn the secret that'll get you just as much engagement and views as the big guys on LinkedIn. And you're going to learn how to turn that traffic into more consultations, build your list, and build your sales pipeline. In step 4, these are the types of results you see. Jamie said, want to see something stupid crazy? Today is day 5 of Pack Your Pipeline. Carrie's a marketing strategist who got her content trending in the marketing strategy hashtag across all of LinkedIn. Joanna does PR. Her post was trending across LinkedIn and PR. And these are two results that I'm so excited about. Using the Pack Your Pipeline system, Jessica was named a LinkedIn Top Voice 2019 in entrepreneurship and business. And Connie was named a top voice in technology for LinkedIn's top 100 voices for 2020. This is the type of visibility you see. This is what we're talking about as far as no longer being the world's best kept secret. And the cool thing about this is that this is not a program where you just sort of do all the steps and then go away and you never hear from us again. There's a ton of continuing support. So you get the guidance and support to put the finishing touches in place and hit your stride. You can join bi-weekly support and Q&A calls to get any questions answered. There's a really active private community on Slack, not on Facebook, where people are sharing advice and strategies that are working for them. And you have lifetime access to the program materials. Shelby is a healthcare consultant who said there's so much ongoing support and aftercare available as part of this program. It made jumping in feel like an absolute no-brainer. And let's talk about this community. The Pack Your Pipeline community is incredible. It's women who are smart, driven, they are giving of themselves and their expertise. They're running real businesses and they are committed to growing them. These are the women you wish you could meet at networking events or in the random, women entrepreneur Facebook groups that we're all in. But they're here. This is an incredible group. When you're running your own business, it can be kind of lonely, right? But the women in Pack Your Pipeline say, I feel like I have coworkers again. And you get all of this in the Pack Your Pipeline program. And everything you need is in this course. So I've put everything you could need to implement this program into the program. And there's tons of bonus content built in. There's never a situation where you're just going to be staring at a blank page, wondering what to do. So if you're wondering, what do I write about? I've included a bonus LinkedIn content planner where you're going to know exactly what to say and how to say it. If you're wondering, how do I connect with people and not be weird? So to connect with people in a way that feels supernatural and doesn't feel weird or salesy, you're getting connection message templates that you can customize. If you're wondering, how do people go from seeing my posts to actually taking action? I've included my lead magnet starter kit, lead magnet template, and email nurture sequence template, which can take the process of creating a lead magnet and nurture sequence and take it from what could take weeks or months into just a few hours. And if you're wondering, what should my lead magnet actually be about? You can listen in on actual live coaching sessions where I'm helping people create their own lead magnet. If you have other questions, you can always come into the Slack group and ask. But I've also included a bonus content library where you can listen in on me coaching students on some of the common questions that come up, like how do I tailor the system to reach C-level executives? Or how do I come up with content ideas to write about? The answers are all there in the Pack Your Pipeline Answers library. If you're wondering, how are other women doing this in their businesses? You're going to join the Pack Your Pipeline community on Slack, where you can get coaching at any time, get your questions answered, and I'm in there every day giving you help and guidance to make sure that you're successful with this system. If you're wondering, how do I actually get clients looking at my profile? I've included my bonus visibility driver that gets you massive traffic to your posts and profile, like Anne-Marie and Stacy and Tammy have seen here when they started using it. And if you're wondering, how much time does it take, or how do I plan my time? I've included the Pack Your Pipeline implementation guide to walk you through step-by-step how to implement this system and how to allocate your time. So you're getting all of this in Pack Your Pipeline, the system, the templates, the library, the planner, all of this. And all of it's designed with one thing in mind, your time. This is not a course about everything you need to know about every nook and cranny on LinkedIn. I mean, who has time for that? This is only what you need to start using LinkedIn to get your ideal clients to become leads. So this system, this course is concise, it's practical, it's geared towards action. And that's why you can get it set up and start to see results in just a few days. Because really, your time is too precious for anything else. So one question I get is, what types of results are people seeing with this program? So let me share a few. Catherine Canty is a leadership consultant who said, small win, just started it this week, and my third CEO just reached out to me on LinkedIn. They are reading. Lorna is a franchise consultant who said, I reached out to 2 major franchise owners, and the first thing they went to was my LinkedIn. They both came back and said, wow, with your experience, let's talk. Milan is a marketing strategy consultant. She said, I can see I'm getting more views, and out of the blue, I got a cold call from someone who runs a pharmaceutical company, and they want to do a meeting for their brands. And she said, I'm having a call with a brand manager next week. One of my students said, this is a glimpse of the results I've gotten so far using your system. People joined my list without any ad spend, 180, the revenue from her clients, nearly $30,000, and people on her wait list. And she got an invitation to be on the Unstoppable Mindset podcast. She said she bounced back from what was a very rocky start to 2020. And it's not just clients. I mean, clients are great, but we also talked about other opportunities like press opportunities. And Coco is a mindfulness consultant who said, this was my first post with original content ever. And she said, within 10 minutes of posting, I received an email from a USA Today reporter who will be interviewing me on Monday for an article she's working on. This is the type of opportunities that open up when you start to get visible. And you don't have to have thousands of connections to get these results. These are some of the results that students see, but what would happen if you could see them even faster? So I put together 3 bonuses to help you get results even faster. If you sign up this week, I'm including a special bonus, 100 of the most engaging post ideas that you can write about on LinkedIn. Some things I've written about on LinkedIn have totally taken off and some haven't. And there is a rhyme or reason if you know what works. So I put together over 100 proven engaging topics you can write about. That means that you can get started quickly and you'll never wonder again about what to write about or if it's going to work. Plus, bonus, you can use these for blog posts, newsletters, social posts, anything else in your marketing. So if you do the math, if you send out a weekly newsletter, then this is 2 years worth of content that you get for free. But I'm about action. If you're ready, I'm ready. So I put together 2 awesome success boosters if you're ready to take action in the next 24 hours. In the first success booster, I'm going to personally review your LinkedIn profile. With this bonus, I'm going to make a video just for you with specific ways to make your profile more compelling to visitors, help position you as an expert, and help turn your visitors into leads. This is totally unique to you and your business and your profile. And it's actionable advice with specific tips that you can start to use immediately. That's the first thing you get when you sign up in the next 24 hours. The second success booster is a one-on-one LinkedIn strategy call with me, where we're going to sit down and talk about your goals and map out a specific strategy for you on LinkedIn so that we can reach your specific clients, nail your messaging, and give you a plan to move forward. So when you and I get to work together in the success boosters, these are the types of results people see. Rhiannon is a PR consultant who says she's been consistently posting to LinkedIn for less than 2 weeks. And so far, one of my posts has nearly 73,000 views. Amazing. And she's had 2 people reaching out wanting to learn more about what she does. Jeannie is an instructional designer who said, I booked a client during our accelerator 100% because of Pack Your Pipeline. She's a former connection and she saw my home feed post and we talked on Friday and paid her invoice today. These are the types of results that you get when you can do this even faster and more effectively working directly with me. So you don't just get the system, the templates, the content library, the planner, audio, etc. If you sign up this week, you get 100 of the most engaging LinkedIn post topics to write about. And if you sign up in the next 24 hours, you're getting my success boosters. Number 1, my personal review of your LinkedIn profile. And number 2, a one-on-one LinkedIn strategy call with me. So the value of everything you're getting here, the Pack Your Pipeline system, the community, the calls with me, the entire value of this program is $4,182. But I'm not selling it for $4,182. I'm giving you not only the bonuses, but special pricing because you're here with me in this training, which tells me that you're committed to solving this problem in your business. So you can get it for $9.99, basically saving $3,183. And you get all of this when you sign up today at smartgetspaid.com/LinkedIn-bonus. And be sure to use this link because you won't get this price with these bonuses on any other page or link. And there's no additional spending on software, on Sales Navigator, on LinkedIn Premium or Professional, and no spending on ads. So if your typical client contract is over $9.99, then you're going to make back your investment and more with just one client. And you'll have the system that brings the right people to you today and forever. And you'll have that continuing support to continue to be successful in our biweekly calls, the Slack group, and lifetime access to the program materials. So just to quickly recap, this is everything you get: the entire system, templates, calendar, content library, and the special bonuses, over 100 of the most engaging LinkedIn post topics to write about, and the 24-hour bonus success boosters, my personal review of your LinkedIn profile, and a one-on-one LinkedIn strategy call with me. The total value of this program is $4,182, but you can get in today for one payment of $279 and 3 more monthly payments, so 4 payments of $279, or a single payment of $9.99. You can save over $100. When you sign up today at smartgetspaid.com/LinkedIn-bonus. And like I said, be sure to use this link because you won't get this price or these bonuses on any other page or link. So once you see the kind of results you can get and how quickly you can get them, signing up is kind of a no-brainer. But I want to make this a completely risk-free decision for you. If after 7 days you haven't gotten any value from the program whatsoever, just return your completed worksheets from the profile module to customer service and we'll provide a full refund. No questions asked. So let's talk about what happens after you sign up. When you sign up, you get immediate access to the course materials, the bonuses, the templates, the community. If you get in 24 hours and you get those success boosters, you get a link to book your one-on-one call and get the profile review, and you get all the next steps. You don't have to wait to get started. It's all there ready for you. So I just want to touch on this really quick because we've all taken courses and programs before. And I think the biggest question isn't really, do I believe in the coach or do I believe in this system? So this isn't about believing in me or the Pack Your Pipeline system. It's about believing in yourself. Do I trust myself enough to get this done and get results? And that's why this program is designed with the support and the coaching and the accountability that you need to get it done and also know it's right. I won't let you fall behind. And you have the ongoing support and access to the private group. Every other week, we host live coaching calls to get your questions answered and help you be successful. And you get lifetime access to the program materials. Now, one question I get is, who has this worked for? Who is this program for? And it's for anyone who does B2B consulting and coaching. So any type of marketing or communications, digital marketing, web development, SEO, any type of branding, brand strategy, personal branding, any type of consulting that happens inside big companies, management consulting, leadership consulting, organizational development consulting, HR consulting, workforce consulting, payroll consulting. You're going to hear me say consulting a lot. Fashion consulting, retail consulting, and any type of consulting or coaching that you're offering or selling into businesses. But it's not for everyone. So it's not for you if you only sell to individuals. So if you do wellness coaching or fitness coaching, career coaching or resume help, life coaching, relationship coaching, and on and on. It's not for you if you only sell physical or digital products. This is uniquely suited for services. And if it's not for you if you only sell group coaching programs, or you're trying to fill your program. But if you do any type of consulting or coaching or offer any type of service to businesses, then this program is for you. And you can get started for $279 today, then 3 payments of $279, basically 4 payments of $279, or a single payment of $9.99 when you sign up at smartgetspaid.com/LinkedIn-bonus. And again, be sure to use this link because you won't get this price and these bonuses on any other page or link. So I want to quickly address a few questions that I hear a lot. First is, do I have to have my ideal client figured out before I start this program? No. One cool thing about LinkedIn is it provides a really awesome testing ground for testing a client base, testing a message, testing anything, because you can get really fast feedback on whether it's landing. And because your LinkedIn profile and your content is so easy to change, so if something's not working, you can make changes really quickly. Another question I get is, do I have to have my branding figured out before I start this program? No, for the same reasons. It's a really great testing ground. You can test your messaging, test what's going to land with clients before you invest in a whole visual brand. Women have asked me before, do I have to have a website? And actually, no. Some of the people whose results you saw in this training don't even have a website. They've been able to be successful on LinkedIn while they're developing their website, and they didn't have to wait. Another question I get is this course going to turn me into a terrible person who connects on LinkedIn and then immediately pitches you something? No, I hate those people. This course is not about straight up pitching, and it's actually not about sending messages to your contacts. So the good news is, if you were thinking that the only way to be successful on LinkedIn is to send a bunch of messages or emails, I have great news for you. You can be successful without sending any messages at all. This is a content-driven program and uses small pieces of content to establish your expertise very quickly, get in front of the right clients, and help them take the next step. It basically uses your own expertise to position you as an expert. Another question I get is, will this program help me make my LinkedIn profile awesome? Absolutely. That's the entire section 1. We're going to spend a lot of time on your current profile, and you're going to learn a step-by-step process to make it not only attractive and compelling to potential clients, but help convert them into leads. Women often ask me, do I have to sign up for LinkedIn Professional, LinkedIn Premium, Sales Navigator, or some other expensive software? And the answer is no. Everything you learn in this program can be implemented for free without any of these tools and without spending money on anything else. So if you have Sales Navigator already, this course will show you how you can get the most out of it within this system, but you don't need it to be successful with this system. So you don't have to do ads, you don't have to buy in-mail credits. Everything you learn here can be implemented for free. So if you have any additional questions, just email team@smartgetspaid.com and we'll get back to you. So that's it. Thanks so much for spending this time with me. I hope you learned some strategies that you can start to use in your own business. And I hope you got to think differently about what LinkedIn could actually do for your consulting or coaching business. So head to smartgetspaid.com/LinkedIn bonus to jump on the success boosters in the next 24 hours, get the one-on-one call with me and my personal review of your LinkedIn profile. And I can't wait to see you impact your pipeline.